Namaste, angels. I'm here to do the weekly love reading for today, Sunday, July 2nd through Saturday, July 8th. Couple things quickly that's going on this week that may or may not impact this reading or our lives. July 3rd, tomorrow, is the feast day of St. Thomas the Apostle. Thomas means twin. And he was an apostle. So he was very, very near to the Christ, the anointed one of the disciples, not necessarily unlike ourselves. So I think that's important there. And we all come into this period at least once on our journey where we're doubting too, doubting of ourselves, doubting of the journey, doubting of the union, doubting of our partner. You know, do they feel it too? Doubting of the universe, doubting of God, like, you know, why have you forsaken me? All this kind of stuff. So I think that that's why that particular feast day is important to us. Whereas, you know, I don't necessarily mention every saint's feast day. I'm mentioning Thomas's. Thomas the Apostle. The 4th, Venus enters Gemini. So Venus, like coming home, because Gemini is one of the planets that she rules. And some of you out there are going to be like me and have, like, you know, extra Gemini, because my Venus in my chart is also in Gemini. So I'm a Gemini sun, but I have Venus in Gemini too. So I'm looking forward to it. Venus, the goddess of love and money. I'm looking forward to be a good week in both of those areas for not just me though, for all of us, I think, but maybe particularly for those of us who are extra, you know, like touched by the goddess or by her planet and that energy. The 5th, Mercury enters Leo. So that's another of Gemini's ruling planets going into another one of my zodiac signs. I'm a Leo rising. So hopefully that will be beneficial as well. Leo, a fire sign. Fire sign's all about passion, and Leo about courage. And I think we're going to need this because this week it seems some of us facing our like final like karmic completions, different issues, getting the last bit of these karmic experiences and relationships cleaned out, and maybe even having done that already, and now we're up to the like soul cleansings and energy healings and energy work and all that kind of stuff. We're up to that part to like remove any residual unnatural energy from our being, and we're moving on from there. The general reading showed a lot of love, a lot of abundance on its way, but certainly a lot of healing as well. And I had already mentioned that was what I was expecting. So what else did I leave out? Oh, 7-9. The full moon in Capricorn, the full buck moon. I did a whole thing last year on the buck moon. The times were different. I hope that they remain, you know, as they've been, because at that time it was like we actually had some bucks, some young men that were like being hunted. It seemed it was like open season on young African American men in particular. So thankfully that doesn't seem to be the case this year. Yeah, knock on wood. And maybe the buck can relate more specifically to the divine masculine in general, having matured and grown. Because what the buck moon is about is this is a time of year where the bucks, you know, had these huge grand antlers, you know, whereas they began like these little tiny little things. So this is when they matured. Maybe this is a sign or an indication of the masculine having matured too. Because I felt this week, and I was talking to one of my Facebook friends slash clients slash, you know, friends, but I met on the internet, and I've never met in person. She lives in Australia. I live here in the United States. But I was talking to her and I said, I feel like the masculine feels like he has zero control. Like zero control over anything in his life right now. Not his job, you know, not his relationships, romantic or otherwise. You know, not his divine feminine. You know, she's here, there, everywhere, at least in his mind. Not as much, you know, not over the amount of money he makes. I feel like he can't do enough. He can't work hard enough, you know, to be able to accomplish what he does. Everything is just like moving around on its own. He has no control over anything. I felt that was what was coming from him. And we agreed on that. And I think that it was accurate because I saw evidence of that in the general reading too. So I guess that's the week in a nutshell, and we can get started. Beginning, speaking of Gemini and Venus in Gemini and all that kind of stuff, I'm beginning with True Gem. Maybe this is representing her. And opening to that fair male, which tends to represent like the Capricorn energy, the devil energy, the temptation, the controlling ex or, you know, father or something in our life. He's upside down. True Gem. Opening to children. True Gem. And gifts. I don't know. Something's saying go one more. I'll go one more. There he is. I guess he wanted to say, you think I'm going to stay like that? I'm back for you. That fair male is up right now. True Gem. I'm going to cut. Young male, to the total opposite of like the fair male. I get like a really, his energy that comes off of this card is so much lighter and like innocent in a way. The overall energy is dating, perhaps under the full moon, that full moon in Capricorn. Feminine about herself with relation to the union. Friendship. Maybe this is, you know what, this is like the 9 of Earth is what I got right away. Like maybe this is about being friends with ourselves, liking ourselves, loving ourselves, enjoying spending time by ourselves. And if that's what we're doing, feminine ladies, gentlemen of the feminine persuasion, I like it. I love it. The masculine about the feminine in relation to the union. His destiny. Aww. The masculine with relation to himself. With regard to the union this week. Ice Queen. Well, I just got, no, don't do that. Don't get like confused or upset. This means Venus touching his life this week. Venus is the Ice Queen, the Queen of Swords. And again, Venus in Gemini, the goddess of love, the planet of love and money, all up and around the masculine this week. I like it. And the masculine with regard to the union. Boom! There it is. And a twin flame card, not this one, but a twin flame card showed up in the general reading also. So they mean business this week with this twin flame card. Overall, gifts. The union itself, a gift, a blessing, and we're counting our blessings this week. We're appreciative of all of these things, acknowledging the destiny, acknowledging ourselves, doing some self-care, self-healing, and introspection and all that, and recognizing the union and giving it the value and elevation, the platform that it deserves too. Love it. Outcome. Boom. New love and love anew for all involved. Again, maybe ending up like this under the full moon, which will be showing up in the sky on Saturday. But the actual full moon is the Sunday, July 9th. What would the masculine have the feminine do or like surrender toward this week and, you know, moving toward the union? Karma. Did I say that I felt that this was going to be a week of final karmic completion for some of us? So yeah, resolving karma, putting an end to it, finally cutting these cords, and or, you know, cleansing your energy, clearing and shielding your energy after having cut the cord so that you can like maintain your vibration. That's what the masculine asks of you this week. And what is he willing to do or surrender toward the union? Come out of separation for those of you who are in it. But this also has a dual meaning. This is about going the distance. This is about being ready to commit to the long haul, as they say, as I place it here next to new love and underneath twin flame. This is like all in and forever, all eternity type of thing. And what would the universe have the couple to do or surrender toward the union this week? Control. Full surrender. Take advantage of that moon. A moon and the cycles of the moon represents feminine energy. The cycles of the moon represents the feminine cycle, like menstruation and all that. And we measure our fertility when we're ovulating, all these things by the moon. It's a very feminine energy. And when it surrounds us, it's the perfect time to go into the specific feminine energy of surrender and vulnerability. And that's what the universe is asking of the couple this week. Relinquish control to us. Give it to God, as they say. No worries. And does it look like we have anything to worry about? Seriously. Gifts, destiny, Venus, the goddess of love and money. We like ourselves. Karmic completion. Twin flame. So recognition of the sacred union between the two of us, and we're about to go the distance together. How awesome is that? And we end up like this. How awesome is that? Wow. With that, I'm going to the romance cards, and I'm beginning with soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. But opening to free yourself. So this can have to do with the karmic completion. This can be connected to some of the ties and cords that some of us still have. Negative emotion, negative attachment. It's time to take back control of your life, from what the universe just said. Relinquishing that control to it. But in some cases, we've allowed other people to take it from us, and they've got it in their hands. We've got to take it back from them. That free yourself is back. Opening to it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Because that part is the hardest part for a lot of us. You know, we give. And sometimes we won't even complain about that. Like, I give and nobody gives me anything. But we're not acknowledging the fact that we're closed off to receiving. So something that some of us have to work on there too. And maybe freeing ourselves from the patterns that put us in that position too. Opening to separation. It was in reverse. I just turned it upside down. And again, I think that this is not going to be the case for a lot of us. I think this is the coming out of separation for some of us who are in separation. And in other cases, this has a dual meaning. This is about cutting cords and separating ourselves from people, places, and things that no longer, you know, serve a purpose in our lives or like the higher good. Right? This is us freeing ourselves by separating ourselves from these people, places, and things. For yourself, I'll go one more, and it is getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. For yourself. That separation back. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon, but I don't think it's your partner. I think it's those, you know, with whom you need to, or from whom you need to separate in order to free yourself. The overall energy is romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. That's what's going on. This is with regard to the person from whom, or people from whom, situations from which he needs to separate. He's surrounded by reconciliation with you. See what just happened there? Someone from your past is returning to your life. And in his subconscious, express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture, which he just said he was willing to do, right? To step forward, to return from separation. He's going to be, in many cases, the one to make that move, as promised. Feminine, religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Surrounded by engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. And in the feminine subconscious, children, your love life is being affected by children. And I think that is with what the religious factors have to do. Some of us still holding on to or have those cords of negative attachment, negative emotion, clinging to our child's other parent or our children's other parent. We've got to cut those too. Crowning. Past life relationship, that's to what we're tied, feminine, and masculine, that's from where your unrequited love stems. This past life relationship. This is how it relates to each. For him, it's this. Okay, he's got a past life situation where, there's no love there anymore. He needs to cut that. The feminine, she's got a situation where she's still, somewhat connected in a negative way to her. In some cases, it's a negative relationship I'm getting, like with her own parent. But in some cases, yes, it's her child or children's other parent, something stemming from a past life, and she needs to heal that energy or cut those cords. And so that's how it relates to her. At the root, we're freeing ourselves from the past life relationship. That's what's going on this week. For the sake of reconciliation, for the sake of the union ascending to a higher level. The masculine, most cases, knows he has to be the one to step forward and to speak up. It's his turn. Like that Aaliyah song, is it your go? Is it my go? It's his go. At the heart of the matter, trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Just gave the hashtag Creeper Deck a fresh shuffle in my hand since I had used many of those cards before. The new overall energy there is blonde female, and I'm just going to take some advice. And I want to shuffle a little bit my Keepers of the Light Oracle, beginning with Lady Venus. Downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. And a song just played in my head. I think it's Escape, an old Escape song. What I need from you is understanding. Like it's simple as 1, 2, 3. Understanding is what I need. So that came from here. Opening 2, both Hope, which represents love and acceptance, and also the Shekinah, sacred self. Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. The Shekinah. And opening 2, Saint Germain, karma releasing. What did I say was going on this week? Move beyond drama, create your own path, and make room for good energy. We got to remove the old dead energy so something new and alive can be born, or something new can be brought to life. This new love, or love anew, whichever is appropriate in your life. Shekinah is back. And opening 2, El Moria, awakening presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. El Moria, I'll go one more. And it's Diana. Focused intention. Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. Diana. And I've come to Odin, psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See the truth for what it is and follow your intuition. And the overall energy is Kuan Yin, care and compassion. Choose to be love. Do what you know is right for everyone involved. Offer a helping hand. And from my Tony Carmine Salerno Universal Love Oracle, beginning with Moon Tree, which represents sacred marriage. And it's more moon too. So maybe something, again, going on toward the end of the week for many of us as we get closer and closer to that full moon. But in other cases, you know, it can be all week. But I'm thinking maybe the beginning of the week used toward completing what's left of some of that karma. And maybe coming from like Mars, residual Mars in Cancer at the beginning of the week. And by the end of the week, Pluto in opposition, Mary's celebration, Our Lady of Itati, and yeah, the full moon, full buck moon in Capricorn. But this Moon Tree card represents the sacred marriage between heaven and earth. And to me, at least, it's not unlike what is described in the scriptures, that the plans for the New Jerusalem and for the new earth says God will merge heaven and earth. So every time I see this card, that's what I picture. But it also is about the sacred marriage between two sacred beings. So, you know, it's about us, basically. And opening to enchantment, which for me is allowing ourselves to be healed by the universe, and allowing it to send its, you know, healing energy and rays just throughout our body, throughout our being, and being thankful, you know, that it wants to. Moon Tree is back. Opening to listening. Some of us maybe needing to do listen to maybe some meditation, perhaps binaural tones. That's one of my favorite sort of listening meditations. And just listening, being still and being quiet and listening in that sense to the universe for messages too. And not just like from spirit, from your divine partner as well, with that card having been opposite this Moon Tree. And opening to transmutation. This is the rise from the ashes. I can't help but to imagine that what's beneath her is dark, right? We rise up from the darkness, from the ashes, into the light and toward the light. As we continue to ascend, it gets more, you know, it moves from being darker and more purple to being more yellow the further up she goes. And I think the union rising, elevating in the same way, again, with Moon Tree having been opposite that card. It's not just us as individuals elevating, but the union as a whole elevating to a new level in a 3D sense and in a, you know, a 5D sense as it relates to vibration. But some fear still lingering for some of us. Again, I guess the beginning of the week, the time to shake this off. Shake it off, shake it off. Like Taylor Swift says. And the overall energy is embrace. Now, this card looks like a very happy couple coming into like a super tight hug. I love this kind of hug. She might even be sitting on his lap. I never mind. I don't hate that. I'll put it that way. But it's actually one person embracing their own inner masculine and feminine. So maybe there's a need for all of us to like ourselves, love ourselves, go within this week, not just the feminine. And it can't hurt for each and every one of us to do that. Okay, so from this Tony Carmine Salerno Universal Love Oracle to the masculine, the goddess, you are specifically guided, masculine, to slip on into feminine energy of surrender under the full moon and allow yourself to be healed, allow yourself to be guided, listen, and allow yourself to lose control. That's how you're going to find yourself, by losing control and allowing the universe to guide you. Feminine, birth, the birth of something new, new you, free of, this restraint and confinement, restriction and being bound, right? And for the sake of this healing of ourselves, we, not unlike the masculine, we have the right to use this feminine energy of surrender too. We have the right to lose control as well. And all these songs come rushing to me this week. There was a song like that too by In Vogue, right? Off the soundtrack, I Set It Off, about losing control. What's it going to be? Because I can't pretend. Don't you want to be more than friends? Hold me tight and don't let go. We have the right to lose control. And it goes on. I used to think about us being more than just friends. I know that you think that if we move too soon, it will all end. So maybe that's where the fear comes in. Maybe that is on the side of the masculine. Not doesn't necessarily have to be, but that's how the song goes. You think that if we move too soon, it will all end. And that may be for some people who, haven't progressed beyond the friendship yet. Which is fine. Everybody at their own speed. I live in misery when you're not around. I won't be satisfied until we're taking those vows. There'll be some love making, heartbreak, and soul shaking. So this is what the energy that's going on. Like, we have the right to this. We have the right to love. We have the right to love. Everybody deserves love. We don't have to remain stuck in situations with people who don't love us, and and with whom maybe our love has dissipated as well. We all have the right to move on. We all have the right to give birth to something new, to let what's done die, and vacate the space for something new. Everybody involved deserves that, not just us in the divine masculine. So from the Keepers of the Light Oracle to the masculine, Joan of Arc, voice of truth. Stand strong. Focus on your purpose. Release the fear of persecution. Just talking about fear. I know you think that if we move too soon, it'll all end. Nope. Don't worry about that. Just speak up. Speak your truth. Feminine. Hilarion. Divine healing. So this was a week of healing, a week of abundance, love, money, and healing. Karmic completion. Honor your sensitivity. Retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. So in order to nurture other people, similar to like when you're on a plane and they give you that practice run of what to do if, should the plane begin to lose pressure or whatever, you're going to want to give yourself the air first and then you give it to somebody and you say, well, like, my child is next to me, I want to give them the air. No, you have to give yours. You have to, make sure that you can breathe, make sure that you're okay in order to heal other people. So we got to, start to put ourselves first in that sense. Masculine, wallflower. Aw, you don't have to be like this. Get into your truth. Again, release the fear, as Joan of Arc said. Surrender to the universe. Allow yourself to be healed and allow yourself to pick up, pick yourself up by your bootstraps, as they say. Go out and express your love. Reconcile, get your woman back, especially if she's in the street. Go outside and get her. And the two of you can like turn up together. You don't have to be a wallflower. Feminine. Aw, soulmate. So we've seen twin flames, soulmate, the reconciliation, all these things coming together today, for this week rather. Very, very beautiful. And like I said, it happened in the other reading as well, the general reading. From the romance angels, lastly, to the masculine honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Now, for some of us, this can be the actual holiday time, like here in the United States. Maybe you guys are going to go to a barbecue together or something like that for the 4th of July. I know, did I tell you guys? I know I mentioned it in the general. My masculine may not even know this, because this is like a female thing, I think, or it might just be a me thing, a crazy Queen of Swords thing. But it's our 6-month mark, like anniversary. So it's 2.5 years, because we first got together January 3rd, 4th, like the 3rd into the 4th. It was evening, and then it turned into the wee hours of the morning the next day. So I don't know which day it really is. And I kind of just claim both as our anniversary, the 3rd and the 4th. But yeah, for something like that, the 4th may be the holiday time that some of us spend together, and there's more moon here in this picture as well. For others, this is the honeymoon phase of this new relationship, or relationship anew, that we keep talking about too. And lastly, for the feminine, heart-to-heart conversations. I would look forward to it. There is communication from what I see, feel, and also saw in the cards. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. This is absolutely a week of keeping it 100, as we say. I hope that you guys found this reading helpful and that you enjoy it. Namaste, angels.